Hello everyone, Baldur's Gate 3 just got some updates to patch 8 which fixed some of the issues like the hexblades curse applying on all weapon attacks, the throwing damage from elemental cleaver on the giant barbarian benefiting from tavern brawler putting out some insane damage numbers. They also fixed the gloves of the battle mage's power, and shadowblade, which would previously give pretty much any type of spell attack advantage whenever it's not supposed to, so like your firebolts would magically get advantage. There's a lot of changes here that fix things and make things work properly again. I think the biggest change, if you're a paladin user, they got it so that the auras no longer disappear after long rest. So getting into all the changes here, Hotfix 30 for Baldur's Gate 3 is now live. This is a bunch of different changes, crossplay related, modding related, so I'll be breaking down all the changes here. So the first one, modding fix incorrect, missing XAML error message on the main menu and deleting mods. This happened a lot on PC. I was getting it anytime I removed a mod, I'd get a little pop-up that would appear. Fix that now. Fix mod manager reports coming through from mod authors, seemingly anonymous users, even if they're logged in properly. Now, seen some updates because there's some people that would be anonymous and leave some not so pleasant messages here. This is now corrected. Great, because mod authors deserve a very nice day for all the hard work that are putting into this. So, yeah, fix the scrolling issue on the mod detail page with mods with a lot of tags. So just overall fixes to the mod manager itself. Game, fix the wrong range to divine allegiance and now triggers within standard melee range as indicated in the tooltip that is from the Crown Paladin. Fix an issue with the gloves of the battle mage's power and how they interact with dual wielded weapons. Now, previously I talked about how the gloves of the battle mage's power now properly works, as patch 8 actually fixed it and made it work properly. So that is really nice. The battle mage's power gloves will add an arcane acuity, which gives you a plus to your spell save DC whenever you do melee attacks. This actually applies with things like smites, but also with shadowblade, and it was having issues whenever you're using dual wielded weapons, which is now corrected. There's a bug that was causing paladins to lose their auras after long rest. If you play Paladin, you'll know how annoying that was, because typically they're supposed to stay up always. The War Priest attacks will no longer disable if the character moves before attacking, so that is nice. And the Tavern Brawler no longer adds damage bonus to Elemental Cleaver's elemental damage in Honor mode. So this makes it very crazy because the Elemental Cleaver adds a 1d6 of elemental damage, so you can get lightning or cold damage on your weapon attacks. And what was crazy about this is with Tavern Brawler, you would add double your strength modifier, which if you go crazy with a strength potion, that can be upwards of 16 damage. So like you can see there, you got a +8 with the strength if you're using a strength potion. So that makes it, that +8 becomes +16 to the damage on Elemental Cleaver, which was not intended. It made it crazy in Honor mode. Now, fix also a bug if you told the goblins in Moonrise Tower to sacrifice themselves, then subsequent cinematics wouldn't play correctly and the goblins become uninteractable. Fix the bug preventing camera movement with WASD while ship was pressed. So yeah, that actually popped up. A lot of use mods for the movement, and this was actually causing some issues as well. So it's nice to see that that's all corrected and working properly now. So yeah, that's great. Fixed polearm clout now properly gains its bonus to weapon damage from a variety of sources, and when using the Pact of the Blade or Hexblade's curse or Hexblade bind weapon, it'll now correctly use charisma modifier for the polearm clout attack. So a few fixes there, which is nice to see. Magical ambush and the skilled skullduggery and the lethal concealment no longer keep disappearing while sneaking. It's great because those are useful. This is a nice fix. I'm a big fan of Cloud Kill, so recasting Cloud Kill after upcasting at level 6 will now correctly apply the upcasted version. So if you upcasted it, you previously wouldn't you'd go back to like the level 5 version. So this also fixed the upcasted Cloud Kill's visuals, which were coming out incorrectly. Now, a little trick with Cloud Kill. Typically it's not great, but if you have a Necromancer style build, it's good because it keeps your undead alive. Where it really shines is if you got a whole team and you got a cleric who has Hero's Feast, which makes you immune to poison. Oddly enough, Cloud Kill does not Cloud Kill counts as poisoned, so you actually don't take any poison damage from it. So you can actually have your whole team hiding out in Cloud Kill. Kind of cool. But also, that's now fixed. And updated Shadowblade to only give advantage to melee weapon attacks made while the Shadowblade is equipped. So this was previously, the Shadowblade's a new spell added to the Sorcerer, the Wizard, and the Warlock spell list, and it would cause you to get advantage on your spells while wearing it. So, well, you're lately or heavily obscured, which is huge because previously it was causing your spells like Firebolt to get advantage when they properly should not have. Now, some fixes with crossplay, issues where a client gets stuck in a loading screen, fix a bug letting you enable crossplay and invite players if you access via setting the menu, fix a bug letting users join the lobby and the friends before friend list is updated. Fix an issue, Crossplay host getting stuck at 0%. I heard this one happen quite a bit after the character creation. Now, crossplay is very complex, especially with the nature of mods, so it's good that they're actually adding a lot of fixes to this. Add a timeout that bring you back to the main menu if your game failed to load. If your connection is interrupted on PC and you get online, features are disabled. Message, your online sessions will now be disabled as indicated. This mimics the existing flow on console and improve the handling of network disconnections and made username character limits consistent across platforms. Photo mode, fix the highlight settings not working properly on console. Fix the mirror option on photo mode appearing in the English across the localized versions of the game. So if you're playing on a different game other than English, you probably, if you're watching this video, play on English, so it doesn't really apply to you. Fix a bug preventing you from selecting the tab flare or Karlak flare in the photo settings. So yeah, you can now properly select them. New subclass fixes. Kills were made with the Drunken Monk Master now count towards a punch drunk achievement, which makes sense. Updated the description for Shadow Infusement condition tooltips, and which still had developer text on them. A chance to inflict Hexblade's curse is no longer increased every time the Warlock uses Bind Hex weapon. I did previously cover that in a video, but I didn't want to use it in any build videos because I knew this was getting patched. Because what you previously would have been able to do is if you had a Warlock and you had your Bind Hex weapon, you could just spam it endlessly, and then you'd get yourself up to 100% chance. I think it was after 26 or 28 attempts, you would get 100%. I tested this out. It worked crazy, and I just felt like that was a major glitch, so I didn't address that in my videos. But the Circlet of Stars can now gain the additional wild shapes, which is huge because Circle of Stars previously would only get the beginner ones. And missing out on Owlbear actually really sucks, so that's a nice fix. I actually posted a video of the Star Druid last night because I wasn't sure if this was corrected or not. And I mean, a Star Druid typically is going to stay in their starry form, but it's nice to have Owlbear to fall back on, so that's actually a huge buff for the Star Druid. And UI, fix the bonus action icon of missing on controller tooltips for players with some modded games. It was happening to me on PC too, and it's now fixed. Fix the choices pending on character creation after disabling a mod related to color choices when randomizing character's appearance. On controller, briefly delayed the cursor selection on mods and mod verification until the mod was properly loaded. Fix some action resource icons missing when pinning tooltips on controller. Also noticed that on PC too. Fix the preventing switch between controller and keyboard and mouse when the game is already switching up. Fix the spell slot resource not showing the tooltips in the prepare spell tab during level up. Fix the UI bud by opening the action and menu radials at the same time. Fix the surge accuracy tooltip not correctly linking to the action surge tooltip. Fix the quicken mage hand tooltip not correctly. Yep, same thing. Fix the tooltips for instruments missing information, and fix the bug on controller where selected box around tooltips would be larger than the tooltip itself. So a lot of UI fixes there. Performance, fix some input delays on PS5 when players are editing their Dream Guardian. Fix performance issue on M4 Max causing stuttering in crowded areas. That's cool that they actually update things for Mac. And fix the game window freezing on Mac when launching the game without internet connection. Launcher, sending a report to the Valerian crash report no longer deletes the files containing your save settings, which is huge. Fix the Shadowblade SFX looping itself, which I honestly noticed. It was kind of weird that was happening. Animations and cinematics. Fix lovely Birthair's arms getting glued to one spot during gameplay. And fix a bug with Kaga at the Emerald Grove, which would glide across the ground on teeny tiny legs. Didn't see that, but that'd be funny. And fix a bunch of crashes here. So yeah, I'm not going to get into the full things. You can just pause this here and read through if you're curious to see what all got fixed. But yeah, there's some fairly decent changes here. I think that they balance things properly. That Elemental Cleaver getting extra Tavern Brawler damage is nuts. Hexblade being able to apply 100% Hexblade's curse also was crazy and made it very unfair. And basically so that none of the other subclasses even mattered. And yeah, just some general fixes here that I think were nice. So yeah, Valerian Studios still staying developed to updating their game. I think that's amazing. So round of applause for Valerian. Thank you so much for watching though. And have yourself a great day. We'll see y'all in the next video.